सर मैं दे रहा हूँ लगा दो
Hello. Good afternoon, everyone. It's so wonderful to see you all here on this pleasant day. I, Karna Gupta, would like to acknowledge all the dignitaries present here. I feel proud to welcome Honorable Director of Services Lead Goyal, Academic Director Ma'am Mrs. Divya Goyal. Thank you so much, ma'am and sir, to come here, take out time from your police review. We are grateful to have you all. Now I would like to welcome all the delegate speakers. A group of delegates from Goiti, Mr. Ashish, Manager South Asia, Mrs. Pinku, BDM North India, Ms. Prakriti, Education Specialist, a group of delegates from EBEC, Mr. Shrikant, Head of EBEC, Mrs. Nidhi Ghosh, Senior Education Consultant, Ms. Aparna, North India, Head of Operations. I would like to extend a warm welcome to all our esteemed faculty members and fellow students from BSN third year and BSN fourth year. Before launching, I would like to tell all, Saraswati, the goddess of knowledge and arts, represents the free flow of wisdom and consciousness. To acknowledge our devotion to Goddess Saraswati, I would like to request all the respected dignitaries to come kindly come forward for our traditional lamp lighting ceremony. I request all the dignitaries to kindly join us on the stage for light and lamp lighting. Now we will take this opportunity to felicitate all our guests. I would request Director Sir Mr. Sandeep Goyal to kindly felicitate Mr. Shrikant. Sir. Thank you, sir. Now I would request Director Ma'am, Mrs. Vindhya Goyal Ma'am, to felicitate Aparna Ma'am. Mrs. Rinku Ma'am, sir. Thank you, ma'am. Now we request Vice Principal Monica Ma'am to felicitate Mrs. Aparna Ma'am. Thank you, ma'am. Now I request Sandeep sir to kindly felicitate Mr. Ashish sir. I request Rachna ma'am to kindly join us and felicitate Nidhi ma'am. and felicitate Pratibha ma'am. Prakriti ma'am. Prakriti. Before the launch, I would like to brief about OIT to everyone. OIT, Occupational English Test, is an international English language test that assesses the language and communication skills of healthcare personnel who seek to register and practice in an English-speaking environment. Thank you. Ma'am, this is for your time. I request Mr. Ashish to please kindly join us on the stage and proceed the presentation.
Hello. Hi, very good morning, good afternoon, everyone.
Good afternoon, sir.
Good to see all of you. Sorry, I was slightly delayed. I couldn't join you all in the morning. But my name is Ashish Bhushan. I represent OET here in front of you, along with my team, Rinku and Prakriti. We are all based out of Delhi office, and from here we operate the South Asia region. I hope everyone is comfortable with English. Okay, that's good. That's good to know. So, so OET, while we talk about it I just wanted to understand, so all of you are from third and fourth year, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, and how many of you, if I may ask, once you graduate from here, how many of you are looking to get employed with government? Okay, let's just start with government opportunities or government jobs. Just raise your hands. More than 50%. And what about the rest? Or anything else? Private jobs. How many people? No one. Okay. So what happens to the rest of 50 people? Are you looking for international employment? Okay. And can I see the hands? Okay. So that's 20-25%. Good numbers. Okay. Well, there's more number of students who would want to go and work into a government institution or a hospital or something like that. Would you know how many government vacancies UP as a state government will roll out every year, or any given time? How many government nursing jobs would be there under state government of UP? Any idea? No one knows that. I think if I'm not wrong, this is somewhere close to 3,500 to 4,000. Yeah. How many people graduate from UP every year? BSc nursing I'm talking about. Close to 65 to 70K graduate nursing every year. This is BSc nursing only I'm talking about. So now you can understand why there are a lot of people, or most of the people wanting to join a government kind of a setup, a government hospital, something like that. The requirements of the vacancies are not really there. So what do we do? Some people may go ahead and obviously everyone, since you have done your graduation, you would want to go to something, get employed into a private hospital or something like that. There are people who are aspirational and they would want to go and work into an international country. English-speaking countries are having a lot of requirements, and that's something which most of us, we know here. There are a lot of other countries like Japan and Germany, they are also opening up. Most of the developed nations, they are struggling with the healthcare professions. Now, that is another opportunity which we can actually cater to. And I think the objective or the initiatives that the UP government under Mission Niramya is running is to meet one of those requirements as well. So while there are government objectives and requirements which are available for the nursing graduates, apart from that, there are private hospitals as well where you can go and join those hospitals. There are a lot of international opportunities which are coming out. And what I'm going to do, I'll just give you a quick brief and understanding about what these opportunities look like. And just for curiosity, would people, would you know what is the kind of pay scale that you get when you get employed in a government job? What are the kind of salaries that you get? A nurse will get 60, 70 kind of. Okay. Maybe a little more, and it definitely depends varies from state to state. The kind of opportunities here, what we are talking is obviously much more than that, and we'll look into it. I have my other colleagues as well, so she comes from ETech, so we will talk about more on what kind of programs that he's offering. But let's first look into the demands, what we are getting from the international market. Now, as per one of the, WHO, all of you know WHO World Health Organization, they say WHO is launching a year-long campaign under the theme Protect. Invest Together. It highlights the urgent needs to invest in health workers for shared dividends in health, job security, opportunity and equity. So talking about that, what we are going to do is look about mostly the English-speaking countries, developed nations. Australia and New Zealand, these are one of the bigger markets for us, especially for the people from India that would want to, go and work in one of these developed nations. Talking about the global trends, what we actually find, and since Wiki has been into this business, most of you from the healthcare background, you would understand COVID pandemic has definitely increased that requirement. The second is aging work population. People are aging, not many new people or graduates are coming in those countries. That is increasing demand, and definitely, I think aging workforce and population as well. In terms of India, if you look at most of our, I think India is the youngest country as compared to any other country across the globe, where we are going to have a more number of working population as of now. So definitely, from the sourcing point of view, India definitely has a good opportunity in front of us, but how to cater those demands? Let's slightly deep dive into the demands that are getting created from some of the major countries like UK. Talking about UK. Yeah, I think this works better. So UK alone employs about 1.2 billion people, which is almost like 12 lakh or something. Yeah, over 110,000 vacancies in England, and this is again, across. This is in fact increasing. Day and day, there are a lot of people who are leaving. As I mentioned in my previous slide, aging workforce. So while the demand is increasing, the supply is not being able to meet those demands, and 1 in 10 nursing posts are empty. So these kind of demands, or struggles that UK NHS is already having. If you talk about US vacancies, 20% of US health workers left their jobs since the pandemic. 40% of US doctors are over the age of 65, and 1 million nurses over the age of 50 and thinking of retiring. So these are kind of situations in some of the developed nations. If you talk about, again talking about the US recruitment, 1.1 million new registered nurses needed to supplement retirees, 9% growth in RN workforce, and 15% UN nurses are born overseas. Now, this definitely shows the kind of requirement or opportunity that we currently have India as a source country. If we look further into the Australia market, nurses, 100,000 nurses shortfall by 2025 and 123,000 by 2030. That's huge requirement, very huge. Less willing to work as a result of the pandemic, almost 40% and more, and decrease in supply of GPs in Australian cities. Now, talking about these kind of requirements, India, while we create that kind of supply, UP alone creates about 65 or maybe 70,000 nursing workforce every year. Not everyone gets employed into government jobs. A lot of people go into private sector. Some, they may looking for international jobs as well. The challenge, one of the major challenges, what we face here is language becomes one of the key barriers, because most of these are developed nations are English-speaking countries, barring and not including Europe, mostly here. But then this is what the scenario looks like, and the challenge ahead of us is, language becomes one of the barriers. When you would want to go and work in one of those countries, the expectation is that you speak something similar like a native speaker. A native speaker, which, if someone comes from any other, let's say in UP as an example, someone coming from, thank you, someone coming from South India to this part of the country, they may not be able to speak very well. I've been traveling to South for such a long time, but still I don't know any of the South languages. So similarly, people in UK, their expectation is that, especially when it comes to health workforce, candidates or the nurse or the staff, doctors, they should be speaking very well language. And the expectation is at an advanced level. Now for us, English is actually, divided into 6 levels. There's a basic level, intermediate level, and advanced level, proficient user. Now OET sits somewhere, at an advanced level, which helps you probably get your score or show your score what is required and to apply for one of those jobs. Now, what we are actually going to look into is how can OET help you there, and what kind of solutions we can provide you. So I think most of us here now agree that yes, there's a requirement, there's a huge demand. There is a gap here within the country itself. So while there will be a requirement to fulfill domestic requirements in the hospitals, be it private or government. There are again a lot of requirements into the international market. Under OET, our vision is to connect the world to a better healthcare, and missions are very clear and crisp. If you look at to improve global healthcare services by offering these kind of services to enhance the lives of patients and healthcare professions, and to create a sustainable enterprise where all stakeholders enjoy long-term success. Now, OET actually covers under, so OET, in a simple term, OET is an English language assessment which is created for healthcare professions. Now, within OET, we have these 12 health professions which are covered. Nursing, medicine, as you can say, occupational therapy, optometry, dentistry, all these professions are covered under OET. And it's actually covered, to talk specifically about OET, how it is different from any general English test is the test content is very much specific to your healthcare, healthcare requirements or workplace healthcare skills. Now, if you talk about any general English skill, let's say for example, the speaking or writing test. Writing test will be mostly around the essays or writing an email or things like that. Here, your writing test is more similar to writing a referral letter to a doctor or to another hospital. Similarly, when we talk about his speaking, there will be scenarios given to you and you'll have to do a role play. You'll have to perform a role of a patient, a nurse or a doctor, depending on the profession that you have chosen. So it's very much specific to your healthcare needs, and it actually kind of prepares you for your healthcare workplace communication skills. So that's where it is very useful, especially for the people from the healthcare background. If you talk about, it has been developed in consultation with language experts apart from the subject matter experts, which are from different professions under healthcare. Test materials replicate the language skills required to deliver safe and quality care, and candidates learn the type of language they need at workplace. So this is something which, once you start preparing for OET, you will learn that the kind of situations or the content of the test is very much replicated to the work that you will be doing in a hospital or these kind of healthcare jobs. Talking about, I think there's something which we already covered, why healthcare specific test. Now, yes, but there are general English assessments, tests are available. I think what makes OET unique and useful for the candidates from healthcare background is because the content is very much related to healthcare profession. So you don't have to prepare anything under the umbrella. Like if you talk about any IELTS examination or let's say any general English test, anything could be asked under the umbrella, under this side. Something like talking about globalization or let's say global warming or something like that, which is completely out of the which you'll have to have understanding or general knowledge of other subjects. Here, everything is related or in context to your healthcare profession itself, and that's why it makes more sense to prepare for something like this. Now, talking further, I think OET is available in most part of the country. When we talk about India alone, we have close to 35 test venues, paper-based test venues. We also have computer-based test venues across the country. OET is delivered in both the forms. Apart from that, it's being recognized in most of the English countries, be it UK, Australia, US, New Zealand, so on and so forth. And then it's best-in-class care and support through our customer service that's been provided to the candidates. In terms of global recognition, as I mentioned, it's been recognized by most of the English-speaking countries, and test is delivered across the country. Here in Delhi NCR, we have around 2 test venues, paper-based test venues. But apart from that, we'll also plan to come up with some more test venues in this region. These are some of the organizations that accept OET. HRSA is the recent one. HRSA is the healthcare recruitment organization from USA. They accept OET as for the visa purposes. So that they listed OET last year, apart from a few other tests as well. I think this is something which I've talked about already. I think, talking about OET, it's something which usually candidates want to ask is how to, while OET is there and you need to prepare for it, this is kind of a connecting bridge for you to apply for any job internationally. I think one of the major questions that comes up is how to prepare for the OET. So while my colleague Shrikant will be talking more about that, there are a lot of solutions which are available on the OET website as well. So if you go onto the OET website, there are a lot of free sample materials, sample videos which are there that you can actually see and brush up or actually go through it and do a deep dive into the videos which are available. Sample videos are available. There are content which is available free of cost on the website. You need not spend anything, and you can actually try and understand what the test construct is. It is basically divided into 4 sub-skills: reading, listening, speaking, and writing. So you will have to brush up your skills for all these 4 sub-skills and make sure that the requirements for whichever country that you are applying, you are meeting those requirements. I'm not sure if I'm covering. I think we are talking about the preparation anyways. So there are different, modules or modes which are available on the OET website. We have OET premium providers which are out there that can help you train for the examination. There's content, live content which is available. We also run a lot of these live webinars on the social platforms. That is something which you can subscribe to our OET channel and do those things. So these are some of the ways which you can help prepare yourself for the OET training or the OET examination. Is there any questions so far? Feels like everyone has understood everything, or maybe I was not clear enough. All right. Do you know what is the fees for OET? Anyone? No idea. It's a very expensive test. Do you know any other general English test fees for that matter? How much? I can't hear you. 35,000. Okay, so that's the kind of fees for OET. And as you can understand, yes, the fees is very high. And for that purpose, we also provide a lot of free content, which I mentioned earlier, that's available on the OET website. Some of these premium providers which are there out, you can see the full list of premium providers which are available. There are about 15 to 16 prep providers which are there listed on the OET website, and they are spread across the country. In case you would want to get trained through one of these premium providers or preliminary providers, you can go ahead and do the training through them. But here today, with eBay, they are going to present a solution which is bringing training solutions to your campus itself, so you don't have to go outside. You'll be able to prepare for the OET examination. And as I mentioned, your requirement to apply to some of these countries, English-speaking countries, is at advanced level. So reading, listening, and speaking has to be at the B band of OET, and C plus, which is a 0.5 level or a slightly low level into writing. So these are the scores, band scores, which are required into some of these English-speaking countries. And to take that, actually, what you can do is there's a test called OET Pulse, which is available on the OET website. You can actually go through or buy that test, or maybe the college can buy on your behalf, and they can actually conduct the test, understand what is your current level, and that test will actually tell you that how much training intervention is required for you to appear for OET, and how much training, how many number of hours will be required for you to prepare OET and get a score at those expected levels. So this is a test which is available online. We can share the details with the directors, and they can further share it with you. So I think that brings towards the end of my session. I'll now pass it on from EBEC, who is going to talk about the solution and what kind of preparations you can actually look into. Yeah. Thank you so much for listening to me. I don't think maybe after your session they may have some questions or all right, thanks a lot.
Thank you. Okay. I think we have to close this. Or not this. We need to drive. So good afternoon, everyone. So my name is Srikanta. I come from this company called EBEC. So what I'm going to do is, I'm just going to continue with what Mr. Ashish from OET has finished. I'm going to overlap certain sessions. So Mr. Ashish has spoken about global opportunities and what kind of demand is there on numbers like 1.1 lakh in UK, like in USA, in other countries. And also he has spoken about OET. He has given you an introduction about OET and what is OET. So I am going to continue almost in the similar pattern along with these points, and I am going to discuss with you on two major points. One is English levels for generally like awareness of English levels. That will be my main focus. And second thing is how do you prepare yourself for OET. Okay. And just to continue with Ashish thing, like basically, like a lot of people, you want to go abroad or you want to go work elsewhere. Do you think English is necessary only for going abroad? Can you tell me? I'll come down. Yeah, who can tell? Is it required only for going abroad? Where is it? Where? In a hospital, where do you refer?
In a hospital.
Documents to write, yes, very good. And you will also refer, because if you are working as Mr. Ashish said, yeah, people, they want to work for the government, doctor, immediately you will not be able to get, so you have to work in some private hospitals. anyway, even if you want to go abroad, you need some experience. So you need, so a decent level of English level will fetch you job in a good private hospital. Might be a corporate hospital like Apollo, Vedanta, Fortis, Global. So here, the practices what they do are more international in standard. So working in big corporate hospitals give you a kind of a better clinical practice, generally. So, let me, before getting on to the level, I just want to give a small brief about it. EBEC, you can note our website, ek.in. So I am going to tell why you have to note down this website. So we provide English language solutions. So when we say we provide English language solutions, like we train teachers, we train school students, college students, corporates, doctors, nurses, healthcare professionals. We are also an authorized training partner for NHS UK, where we deliver OET training for them, we deliver mental health integration courses, which is also on a clinical part of it. Our main vertical is exam administration, where we deliver tests for Cambridge, and SLC is a content partner for us. I've gone through this. So in India, we are now operating 10 locations. There are more locations added after this slide has been created. Like we are there in all these 8 locations now. We are in Patna, we are in Guwahati, and a few more new venues are in the pipeline. But the main point is why I am here. So we are catering to more than 2,500 nurses every month. And above everything, Ashish, in his first slide, if you have seen, he was showing about the requirement of healthcare workers in the year 2030. So, Mission Niramaya, so you all know about Mission Niramaya, am I right? How many of you know about Mission Niramaya? Can you raise your hands? Mission Niramaya is an initiative by the UP government. Okay, Mission Niramaya is an initiative by the UP government to support, skill up the nursing students, nurses and healthcare professionals, not only nursing. Here I am speaking to nurses, so I am talking in the nursing context. But Mission Niramaya the purpose is to empower the healthcare professionals in the state of UP. So, what they are going to do is, their vision, if you have seen in 2030, there is going to be a huge shortage of healthcare professionals. I will stick to the nursing context because I am speaking to you as a nurse. Like, so in 2030, there is going to be a huge shortage of nurses across the globe. As Ashish said, because of aging population, lot of retirement. So for that purpose, India wants to empower, help, like under Mission Niramaya, like the government wants to empower you and make yourself capable of working to the future scenarios. Like maybe you might work in a better way in the big hospitals down there in India, or it is also the vision is to give you an opportunity to skill up during the time you are studying so that you become eligible to work abroad after maybe 1 year of your completion. For someone to go abroad, they need maybe BSc degree or a GNM degree and minimum 1 year experience is better. Minimum 1 year experience, more experience is better, but minimum 1 year experience is better. And above everything, whether this is sufficient? If you have 1 year experience and BSc degree, is it sufficient to work? What is required most? Can you tell what is required most? If you want to work in UK or Canada or USA, what is required most? English? Affluent English language. Then how do you prove you have the affluent English language? You have to take a test. Like Ashish said, over 90% of the healthcare professionals are taking OET. Okay, why do they take OET? Because the test is in healthcare context. So to make it much, explaining it much easier. Okay, if you are taking a test, for example, if I have to compare with IELTS or TOEFL and OET. Okay, if you are writing a test, might be in IELTS, they might ask you to write about anything. It can be about your trip abroad or some places. It can be about a general thing about the Ukraine war. What do you feel? But in OET, if you are a nurse by profession, you will always write as a nurse. So, what will you happen? You will be given a case study. You will have to go through that, and maybe you might have to write a referral letter or a discharge summary. Okay, so which is almost what you are doing in your clinical practice. Am I right? But of course, with a better language standards. So, which is easier, writing about Ukraine or writing a discharge summary? Huh? Which is easier? Discharge summary. Okay. And similarly for speaking, as Ashish said, you will speak only as a nurse. You won't take a different role. For example, in IELTS or other general English tests, you will have to take a different role. You might be a transporter, like you might be a different profession where like as a general you have to speak. So sometimes the context is not like though you have the language, you don't have the subject to speak. But in OET, if you are in the speaking test, you will speak only as a nurse. If you are a doctor, you are taking an OET test, you will always be a doctor when you speak. So as a nurse, when you do the speaking test, you will speak only as a nurse, might be to a doctor. Your examiner might be playing as a doctor or a patient or an attendant. So which is easier? Talking on a general context or talking as a nurse? Yes, it is easier, but it is not as easy as it looks though. Okay, the purpose, I'm just going like, so we have discussed about this as we started. Like English is an essential part, and under Mission Niramaya, what they want to do is they want to promote the language skills, skill up your skills in such a way that you are employed in a better way domestically, and also give confidence for you, for candidates who are interested to go abroad, to support you and reach your dream jobs. So we know we have discussed why we need this English, because doctors, if you are working in a private hospital in India, the doctor might be from Bangalore, you will have a nurse colleague from Kerala, you have a patient from Nepal or the Middle East. So English becomes a common language, am I right? Am I right? So even for working, you require English, but it is in a different level. So how many of you know that English has, any language per se has some levels? Do you know, like there are different levels in English language? Let us stick to the English language maybe. Do you know that? Please note down this, everyone, I want everyone to note down the CEFR scale. If anyone wants to learn English, please note down this CEFR scale. Download, go on Google CEFR scale, and not in all, like Google it, like a search in images, you will get this image. Please download it and have it as a screenshot or a screensaver in your phone. If you really want to go work in a big hospital in India, or if you have an ambition to go abroad, you should always have this. My majority of the session now will be focused on these language levels, because the reason is, unless you have these language levels, you will not know how to prepare for an international test. So you can please note down, and everyone, I want everyone to download this and have it. And what is this called? Can you tell it what is this called? CEFR, it is Common European Framework Reference Scale. Okay, this is applicable. Is it applicable only for English? Is it applicable only for English? No. If you want to learn German, German is again taken only in A1, A2. If you are learning Dutch, if you are learning French, Spanish, anything is marked only to this level. So there are, let me leave the pre-A1. Okay. In general, what you have to learn is there are 6 levels in English. We are talking about English, 6 levels, which is A1, A2, which is a beginner level. B1, B2, we will call it as a middle level. Okay, intermediate or a middle level. C1, C2 is the advanced level or a mastery. How many levels are there? 6 levels. So, what is A1, A2? Basic level. And B1, B2? C1, C2? Advanced level. So, I am going back. Cambridge did a research across India on the prevailing levels of English amongst the students studying in the nursing college. So the first year students, final year students, they were tested. And the result showed majority are in the A1 and A2 level, which is here. Where are they then? Beginner level. To compare what is a beginner level, these are all Cambridge exams which we conduct in schools. So, if you see A2, there is a test called A2 Flyers or A2 Schools. This we are offering to school children studying in a CBSE school generally. They are in the 5th grade or 6th. I am just making this as an eye-opener session, where the comparative levels, like this is taken even now in India. We've been handling with a lot of schools here. So where students in the 6th grade are taking this level of test. So now I would say, please go to our website ebek.in. After the session is over, please go to our website ebek.in. Let's see how I can show that. So this is the website, please go, this is a, so you want to know where you are. So anyone before preparing, you have ambitions to go abroad, maybe Canada or UK or USA, or you want to work in a big hospital. First thing what you should do is know what is your English level. So for that, go to this website, and in this you will see what test your English. In your phone it will be in the bottom. Test your English. Go and press the test your English, where you will have 25 questions which you have to answer in 30 minutes. It's a Cambridge test. So once you press test your English, it will take you to this Cambridge website, and here go and click English. Don't go for other things. Click General English. And it will begin. So you have to go to eBay website. Click Test Your English. Then what should you select? The lunch is waiting, but still, okay, General English. So you will be taking 25 questions in this. At the end of the test, immediately you will receive a score. Please do the test individually, not as a group effort. So everyone, if you want to learn a language, you have to do the test. It will tell you where you are, maybe in a B1 level, B2, A1. So the levels what I showed, so you will get that level. This is not a, I would say this is not a fully what I call standardized diagnostic, but this is just a diagnostic test for as an eye opener. So if you get the test, then you know, okay, I am in this level. Might be like you are in A2. Then once you get that level A2, then there is a next test in the same next to that called write and improve. So that is a test for testing your writing skills. So if someone is in A1, A2, you take it as a beginner. So if you are in a A2 level, take a beginner in writing. If you are in B1, B2, take a intermediate in writing. Choose your topic, whichever is requested. Try to attempt the test. It is quite easy. It will guide you, and you will get the score what it is in writing. The thing is, according to Cambridge, for anyone to move from, please note down this point, anyone to go from one level to the next level. If you are in A2, for you to go from one level to next B1, you will have to prepare for at least 250 hours. How many hours? 250 hours per level. Okay. For people, if you want to work, for example, let me say you want to work in Vedanta, you want to clear your interview, might be, and I want to join Vedanta or Fortis, you must be somewhere in the B1 level. Okay. If you want to go promote yourself as a supervisor, as a nurse educator, where you are in an administrator role where you have to write a lot of reports and everything, you must be in a B2 level, which is all for domestic purpose. You require this. And for people who have an aspiration to work abroad, they must be in a C1 level. And people who are living in those countries are in C2 level. So, let me discuss, like, why do the countries, they want you in a C1 level? So, you people, you know about IELTS, you should have heard about IELTS, about bands of IELTS 6.57. How many of you know about the bands? You know about the bands. So, equivalent, if you see, the IELTS C1 level is 7 band. If you go to OET, equivalent level is a B grade. So, what you need to do is, you have to prepare. If you have an aspiration to go abroad, people are, I think here you have third year and final year. If you are in third year, you have 3 more years to prepare. 2 years in college and 1 year as you work. If you are in final year, you have only 2 years. For example, if somebody wants to go abroad, they can go after 1 year of experience. So 2 years of preparation only you have. And out of that, the time in the college is the most beneficial time where you can really prepare well. Because the training can come into your college, you have more time, salary is not a constraint, you need not travel for training. Once you go out of the college, then you might have to travel for training, you might have to skip certain things. I will go on those things later. So coming back to the level, you all should take the test and see, okay, where you stand. So if someone is in A2, for them to go to C1, they need 1,500, 1,000, almost 1,500 hours. Almost. But need not be exact. There are people who can learn faster. But B2 is a barrier level. Someone should enter the B2, then you can actually go faster. How? For example, let's talk about learning to ride a bike or a car. Initially we are afraid, we go slow, 20 kilometers or something, like we just drive like a 20, 30 kilometers. After some time we gain confidence. So 20 se 30 jane, for example we are in 20 se 30, 40, 50 jane, like takes time. And once the confidence reaches to 60, then from 60 to 80 you have more confidence to go. Am I right? Similarly, once you reach this level, this is the level for you to start preparing for OET. You should not start preparing when you are in this level. Because you need to reach here and you should start your preparation only after you are reaching B2. Only then you will understand and you will focus on exam strategies. So again coming back, what is the level required for OET? If someone you want to go abroad, like what level you should be there in this? C1 level. And how many hours it takes from one level to next level preparation is required? 250 hours. And again I am telling, this 250 hours of preparation, it must be a quality preparation. When I say quality preparation, you should have right teacher to guide you, right material to practice, and right friends or colleagues to support you. So, when I say right teacher, the teacher should understand these levels and the teacher should guide you based on the level. Someone might start from B1 also. You are good, you can start from B1. So from B1 say, kaise jana hai? From A2 say, kaise jana hai? So if you are in a B1, then the material, right material, your material given must be on the right level where you build the interest because you are seeing your success. It cannot be low, it cannot be high. So right material is required and right delivery is required. And as a teacher, whether a teacher will teach you English, is it right? Whether a teacher will teach you English or teacher will teach you how to practice English. The teacher will teach you on how to practice English. It is not a theory, it's a skill. Only you have to do that. So, there are 4 skills as Ashish said, 4 skills. You know, like if you are writing an OET test, there are 4 modules. LSRW, wrote down LSRW. L is for listening, S is for speaking, R is for reading, and W for writing. So in all the B1 level, which is a B grade of OET, and please note down, in writing, the governments there, they allow you to be in a C+, which is a top band of a B2. Okay. So these are the 4 skills where you need to prepare regularly. So why is that order LSRW? Can anyone guess? You are all from healthcare. It is general question, not related to English. Why is it in listening, speaking, reading and writing? Can anyone guess? Why not writing in the front or reading later? Why is it in the order? That is the scientific reason behind it. Can anyone guess? Okay. Let us all see, look at the child. We see child at home. So what is the first skill it gains? Listening. Like generally it listens to the elders speaking at home. Okay. And then what will do? It will start speaking. Maybe with mistakes or whatever it is. LS. Then might be later they show some books or something and it starts reading. Is not exactly reading text, but it identifies and it reads. Apple, yes sir, comprehends. And finally it writes. That is the reason LSRW. It is structured as per the learning ability of a person. So, what you have to focus is, if you want to speak more, you have to listen more. If you see some children, they take to the hospital after 4 years that the child is not able to speak many, then they realize that's a problem in the hearing. Then they work for the treatments. So unless you listen more, you cannot speak. Unless you read more, you cannot write better. So when you say we practice, the teacher will help you on practicing. But for practicing, listening, do you need anyone? Maybe like you listen to songs, listen to documentaries, something like that, or podcast. Do you need anyone or you can do it alone? Alone. For reading, do you need anyone or can you do practice alone? Alone, is it possible? And for writing, if there is an assignment given, you can write on your own. Only for speaking, you require a friend or a colleague. So the first thing is leave the shyness. Don't bother about others teasing you. If you want to succeed in your life, you should only look on your own goals. So you should try to make a friend or a group of people, team. You should form a team and decide, okay, every day 1 hour, like maybe 12 to 1 or 4 to 5. We will speak whatever it is only in English. This is the first step towards the preparation. And as you start preparing that, you will gain more confidence. And with the right material and context is really important in learning. So, for example, we have a progressive course which is completely in a healthcare context for nurses or doctors or paramedics. So why the context is important? Right context helps you to learn faster. For example, I can speak English if I am put in a group of mathematician conference, like they are talking about all the mathematical concepts and lot of things. So I won't understand the jargon. After some time, I know English, but I am not able to understand anything. Similarly, like you are sitting in a nursing conference and something related to nursing, you will be able to understand. If it is on astrophysics, even you know English, you will not be able to. So context is something important where like it will build interest and gives you confidence and make you prepared. So the another reason is why we are here, as we said, like we cater to around more than 2,000 nurses and we see how much they suffer. So we are here, OET and EBEC, to share their experience and minimize your expenditures. So there are people who are taking, whether in any test, 4 attempts, 5 attempts. Why they are taking? Because they don't know their levels. They write a test, they get the result, maybe they are in a B1 level, immediately they will book another test. You shouldn't do that. You should start preparing and once you reach. So for you to know, once you are in a B2 level, nearing in a B2 level, for you to know whether you are ready for the test, you can take OET Pulse, which Ashish said, you can take OET Pulse. That test is prepared by OET. It will cost you only 1,500 rupees. You need not waste 34,000 rupees. So you take an OET Pulse. It will tell you the gap between for you and OET. Have more confidence and then book a test and start preparing further. On an average, a nurse spends around 3 lakhs generally, like I'm telling, like people, they leave the job, save money, go to some places, some city like Kerala or any place, they take a PG, they do an attempt and they don't know that they have to build the language skills. Why do you have to build the language skills? Because you are going to serve a citizen who is in a C2 level. So you should understand what they speak. That is the reason you must be in a C1. So we provide a lot of solutions, so mainly for the nursing students and also to reduce this, like we also work with a lot of working nurses. For example, we are an authorized training partner, I said. So for the working nurses, like we are doing a lot of NHS training programs, OET or mental health integration courses we do. Similarly for nursing college, we have designed based on this a kind of a 4 level, I would say. 4 level. There is a course, if you are in A1 to A2, there is a course. A2 to B1, there is a course. B1 level, there is a course. B1 to B2, there is a course. So why these are the pathway courses, like where you can take these courses if you are taking a diagnostic, you know you are in a B1 level, then take a course in a B1 to B2. So how do I progress from B1 to B2? Someone is in A2 level, they have to take an A2 to B1. So these courses are designed almost in the OET's model, where that you are prepared towards taking OET and maybe to take you to a level of B2, top end of B2, and this is not an OET prep course. These are OET pathway courses which we do. Once you reach that level, you want an OET prep. An OET prep is something different. Where like a normal OET prep, once you reach that level, it requires around 150 to 170 hours of intensive training to take you as close as about a C1 and on exam strategies. Exam strategies is time management. When you are writing a test, like how is your reading test, how much time you have, how many questions you have to answer. So all these things are practiced. So I don't want to go about this like this. We will talk later. So the next topic which I want to focus is on jobs. Everyone here sitting you want to know what kind of jobs you are available. So I am going to generally tell the salary. You select what countries you want to go. So if you want to, as a nurse, as I said, you require a bachelor degree, BSc or a GNM with 1 year experience, and you have to pass OET, and after that you are eligible. If somebody is having a proper vision, like in 5 years, I start my nursing today, and at the end of 5th year, 6th year, I can be abroad sometime. If I work towards that, I prepare towards that vision. So that is possible. And general salary given, if you want to know, any nurse, as you go into NHS UK, NHS UK is the most preferred because the pathway is much easier. Australia is second. A lot of people go to Australia and New Zealand. And US is something really tough because visas are not in anybody's hand. Because visa is a lottery based. So अगर luck हुआ तो आपको मिलेगा, नहीं तो नहीं मिलेगा. So but NHS going towards UK, Australia or Canada, once you have the qualification, then there is a hospital ready to take you. Then it's only the visa time, like 3 months or 4 months hoga, but you are assured that you are going there. So the starting salary for a staff nurse or any nurse, you will always join, for example, I am comparing it with NHS, UK, you will always join in band 5, which is around 28 to 30,000 pounds. Indian currency में बोलेंगे तो like you will start salary will be per year 28 to 30 lakh rupees. Abhi pounds is 106 and just calculating for convenience 100 rupees a month. Okay, so your start salary will be something, so which is per month around 2.2 to 2.3 lakhs is the salary what you will be earning there. If you go to Canada, the pay goes to around 40 lakhs, and USA pays highest where it is about 50 lakhs it is being paid. General pathway taken by the Indian nurses, I am telling you, is people will go to UK. They will work for 5 years in Australia or UK. They will work for 5-6 years there, earn well, become a PR, take a British passport, and from there they will fly to US. That is much easier. You don't have to prove your English. And from a US citizen, like a UK citizen, you will be able to. That's a pathway which normally a lot of people are taking. So you can choose what it is. The last point which I want to emphasize now is on the immigration process. Okay, think that you have taken OET, you have passed. So majority of our people, they normally go to an agent, immigration agent, who says, I'll get you these wonders in this country. Flight ticket आपको देंगे, like you will be given free stay. ये सब देने के लिए मुझे 15 लाख दीजिए. I'll get you a job. 10 लाख, 15 लाख, 20 लाख, ये सब. Actually, you don't have to do that. I take this opportunity, and I know you are a bit late for the lunch, but I will take this opportunity where if you have a proper BSc degree, if you have 1 year of clinical experience, and if you have cleared OET, without spending 1 rupee, you can go abroad. Why? You can go through a proper channel, or you can go to NHS website and apply directly also. They will come, we can guide you, and OET now has a new feature called OET careers. So this is like as a candidate, if you pass, then you can apply through OET careers where the employers will contact you directly. And back through this, if any of the agents is asking money, then think that the agent is cheating you. Because he will say, I am giving you free tickets. No, he is not giving you. It is your employer. That hospital is giving you free tickets. It is giving you 2 months stay. The hospital will receive you from the airport. The hospital will actually process your visas. Nothing is done by the agent. The agent, what they do is, they help you, maybe a genuine agent. For example, TNA, Trained Nurses Association of India. There is a nursing association where they will take the interest. Maybe in the future, UP government through Mission Niramaya can also do. Where they will help you on how to apply, what kind of letters, interview skills, and maybe documentation, NMC registration. So these are the, you are working, like after you pass here, you will register with the nursing council, am I right? Then only you can work. Similarly, for any country, you have to register in that nursing council. For which there is a charge. For example, for UK, you have to pay around 14,000 rupees for council registration. But once you go there, the hospital, your employer, will refund your OET fees. Whatever you are paying, 35,000 fees. Lot of people, they don't know this. Your employer will refund on the first month itself your OET fees. They will refund your NMC registration. They will refund your CBT test fees. They will give you 2 months stay. And you know you have to take an OSCE test to get confirmed. So that OSCE test is around 90,000 rupees. And that is spent by your employer. There are a lot of agents who will say this is inclusive of the OSCE test, your flight tickets and all these things. So please be aware of wrong agents. There are genuine agents also, I don't say. It is not that there are. But if an agent is asking money from you, mujhe 5 lakh dena, 10 lakh dena, then please be assured that there is something they are cheating. Take the right guidance. Go through your college. Your college can guide you with the right immigration team or support team for that, and go through a safer way. Going through a wrong way, you may get stuck. People are cheated, they don't get jobs. People have lost lakhs and lakhs of money. Even now, I don't know how many of you have heard, a couple of weeks ago, there are 380 nurses who have not taken a proper OET test and have gone through a different channel. 380 nurses are stuck for 6 months without salary and they are almost like beggars, and now the associations and other people are now involved to take them back to India or get them a job. Because, and they have paid around, everyone have paid around 18 lakhs. Don't go on a shortcut. That is your hard-earned money. Even if you are going to take a loan, only you have to pay across 3 levels, might cost you another 30,000 rupees. Maybe an OET prep, if you are going to take a long OET prep, maybe it will be another 30. In 1 lakh, if you focus and prepare across 2 years or 3 years, you are going to spend 1 lakh. You will clear your test and you will, right royally, you will walk in through OET carriers or other. Don't spend 5 lakhs, 10 lakhs, it's your parents. Don't spend like that. I would like to close my session, and if anybody's got any questions, we are open. Anything you want to know about going abroad or any country, anything, we are open. Shall we close? Good? I think you are all hungry. Sorry. Okay, we'll close. I would like to thank Kailash College of Paramedics and Nursing for giving us this opportunity. And I would also like to thank Mission Niramaya, Team Mission Niramaya for providing us this opportunity. And it doesn't end here. You can contact us through the college if you want more clarifications. You can take our contact details, speak individually if you want. We can support you. For people who are in the final year, you can register in Project Power, where like if you want a help on how to prepare for OET, everything, our counselors or our teachers will speak to you, guide you. Like Ashish said, go to OET website, there are premium providers which are authorized by OET, who are like can really train you in a proper way. Wherever classes are spread across India, they have training academies across India. go through those training academies whenever you are preparing maybe as you are working. All the best. Please collect this. Can you all go this way? Can you all go this way?